So we're headed down Old Sugarlands Trail. You can hear the traffic behind us, but very short amount of time on this trail, you will hear no more traffic. The river kind of drowns everything out. Don't have a lot of people hiking this trail, even though it's right here on the main corridor, right beside Sugarlands. So if you're looking for some solitude on a trail that doesn't take you very long to get to, this is the one. Old Sugarlands Trail is also steeped with history. So if you're a history buff and you like hiking, this is also the trail for you. And already, after just walking no more than 5 minutes, the river joins us and you can barely hear any of the traffic from 441. And there's this little side trail that we're going to go down. Takes you right down to the river. So we head away from the river and back up to the trail. These 70-foot sheer cliffs here is the site of an old quarry. The sandstone that you see here is thought to be some of the oldest in the Appalachian chain. Rock taken from this site was used to build many of the bridges, roadways, and structures that you still use today. Like this bridge seen here. Spring hikes in the Smokies are special. The flowers return, the green returns. We got to take some of that in on this hike as well. So we're headed up to the old 3 Cs camp. Now this is a relatively flat trail, but there are some very short ascents along the way. So we just kind of went up over one of the only decent ridges on the trail, and it took us away high up over the river. Now we're kind of back here. The river's rejoined us. You get that nice sound of the water.
Just in case y'all didn't know, someone wanted to tell you that there is no trail that way.
Yeah, it kind of is misleading, right? It points that way, but this is actually referring back to where we started. Yeah.
It needs like an upside down arrow.
Yeah.
This is your trail Bible?
Yeah. So you can pick one of these up at visitor centers, the NOC, a lot of stores around the area, but it basically gives you turn by turn, it gives you trail descriptions, it gives you elevation charts, the whole nine. So once you arrive at this sign, to get to where we're going, which is the 3C camp, you want to take a right at this sign. So we'll be headed down that way, continuing to follow the river. So the next little bit, we're going to be walking right through kind of like the floodplain of this stretch of water, but it is beautiful. Another element of Old Sugarlands Trail that makes it special is we're now walking on a section of the trail that follows Old Tennessee 71, which is one of the first paved routes over the Smokies. Not unlike many other trails in the Smokies, this path was probably blazed by the Eastern Cherokee. So as you walk on this section of trail, you're following in the footsteps of those who took this path thousands of years ago. This history is something that can be felt as you walk along this ancient path. After a short time, you make your way to the stone bridge and this survey benchmark. You're now walking through the Old Sugarlands community, which was a bustling one well before Gatlinburg was conceived. In the 1800s, Sugarlands was thriving. Like most communities of its time, it relied heavily on farming, which is evidenced by the large, flat, grassy areas that you see here. While today you hear many people complain about the moonshine stores down at Gatlinburg, we forget that moonshining was heavily prevalent well before the tourists ever came. There were grist mills, stores, churches, and as the tourists began to trickle in, even a hotel. But when the logging companies came, everything changed. And much like the Cherokee before them, once the national park was founded, these residents were forced out of their homes. And again, the land that the Old Sugarland Trail traverses continues to have an important story to tell. Bullhead Branch, this used to be the home of a grist mill. So once you get to this sign, you are at the old 3C camp. After the widespread deforestation of the Smokies, the 3Cs came in, and their main job was to undo the damage that was done during that logging era. What we're seeing here are the ruins of one of the 22 3Cs camp that was spread throughout the park. One of the more notable relics is this clock tower that still stands. After a quick search of the park archives, I found this picture. So these eastern hemlocks are in a straight row. Probably means that they were planted, I would imagine. But check it out. What we captured here is just a small part of the ruins to be found on Old Sugarlands Trail. We did find this old garbage incinerator that was used by the 3C camp. Unfortunately, over the years, hikers and tourists have come by and taken many of the remnants at the 3C camp here. Please remember while hiking in the Smokies to leave no trace. Leave nothing but footprints and take nothing but pictures. If we do that now, we can preserve this very special place for generations to come. And this about does it for us. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you made it this far, like if you liked it, comment if you're a fan, subscribe if you're feeling it. If not, that's okay too.
Wow.